in Washington right now, and that Representative Gowdy from down in South Carolina.
Yeah, he's something else. There are a few.
He is like right on top of everything, man. Beautiful.
But I don't. What gets me about that is that they're dealing with facts there, and you got the other side, the Democrats, who openly tried to spin and twist what these people are saying. And it annoys me. Can't you just sit there and say, you know what, Senator, maybe you're right. Or Representative, maybe you're right. Yeah, I think we need to look into this. No, they can't because it's their party. What is the difference? That's not what you're there for. That's not what you're there for.
Right. Just to highlight, you were talking about the president pretty much dismissing the stuff the IRS was doing to certain members of our society, and kind of dismissing it. There's nothing there, and that famous statement he made that on the Super Bowl Sunday interview. But I just cannot believe that he really said that.
Yep.
When the investigation is still ongoing, and that the attorney has essentially 40 some odd individuals waiting to testify that have not even testified yet.
Well, it's not a question of testifying. It's a question that these people haven't been interviewed by the FBI at all. So how do you end an investigation, or how do you know it's over, or how do you say there's nothing going on, or there's nothing wrong, or it's a bungle when the investigation isn't complete? What happened to? Well, listen, Bill. He was speaking to Bill O'Reilly. Bill, that's an investigation still going on. I can't comment on that right now. No, he made he gave a definitive answer. Right.
Before all the interviews were in and all the information and the testimonials were in.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wow, that blew my mind. That statement. Holy mackerel!
It amazes me what this president thinks he can get away with. And again, we got to stop with that. He's black. We got to stop with that. He's a Democrat. We got to stop that. He's a socialist and all that bullshit. I mean, keep it at the back of your mind. But listen to his words. I say this so many times. You got to listen to their words, because when they speak, it's, well, if it did, or how it did, or maybe it could, or it could possibly be, or maybe it's this way, or it could, or maybe we will. You got to listen to their words, because they twist and turn. He's a master at that, this president.
He is. He sure is. If you can't feed him the facts, you baffle him with bullshit.
Exactly, Ernie. Exactly. And it's time the American people got smart to this. It's give up if everybody would give up their party politics, it would be so easy to get to the bottom of everything that's happened and make the changes that are needed to be made and get the jobs going back in this country and get people back to work. But they won't, because they're battling on partisan lines on both sides. I get it. There are ideal differences, but you know what? You got to work with people to get it done. You can't just say, "Well, the other side won't budge," when it's you that won't budge, when it's you that won't. What's the word I'm looking for?
Won't acknowledge that?
No, not acknowledge. To work with other people.
Right.
You got to compromise. That's the word I was looking for. And there's no compromise in this president. There's no compromise in Harry Reid, the Senate Majority Leader. There's no compromise on the Senate side of the Democrats. There's no compromise. Because it's what the president says, and then it's what Harry Reid says. And that's who these people follow. They're following ideologically.
Yeah.
And now they're finding out that it's going to bite them in the ass come November, because all you got to do is go look at their records. All these Democrats, 5 or 6 of the seats that are up, the Democratic seats in the Senate that we need, every single senator, if you look at their voting record, went from between 90 and 100% of the time voted with the president. One was 90%, one was 97, one was 100, one was 96.
I don't understand that, because it don't matter who you are. You're not going to, in the normal course of events, you're not going to agree with
100% of the time.
That's ridiculous.
97% of the time. You know what that's telling me? That's telling me you don't care about the people you represent. You just don't. You can't. You're doing what the boss of the party is telling you to do, and that boss is the President of the United States.
Yeah, I don't want people to walk lockstep. There got to be some, individual thinking people, man.
And now they're worried. Now they don't want him campaigning with them. They don't want him coming. Well, you know what? It's too late for that now. It's too late for that now. And people need to understand these are the people that you elected. Look at Harry Reid's record. Everybody in Nevada needs to look at Harry Reid's record. What he's done, what he's been accused of.
That buffoon got reelected. Yeah.
And he sits in the well of the Senate with this holier-than-thou attitude because what he says goes. The people of Nevada need to kick him in the ass and kick him out. And stay away from his sons as well. Whether Republican or Democrat, I don't care. Stay away from his sons because he's got them involved in politics now. And all they're going to do is follow in their father's footsteps.
Yeah, he's one guy that's got to go, man, big time. But, And
I'll go you one better, Ernie. On the Republican side, Jeb Bush, although may be a good president, maybe you know what? We've got to end these families that are controlling this country. On both sides.
Yeah, I think I agree. I agree with you there. I'm still unsure as who I like in regards to running from the Republican side of the fence, but hopefully we'll have someone step up that will be electable. I heard even Romney was considering another possible go at it. I don't know about that, but speculation is that he's even considering it again. Can you believe that? But hey, in any event, like you said, you gotta get active, you gotta get involved, you gotta get out there, you gotta do your thing, and not just on the presidential national scene, but locally, what's going on in your city or your town, in your state, that's important stuff too.
That's true. Ernie, I need you to take it away for a minute. I have to answer this phone call. I can't believe the phone calls I'm getting today. Everybody knows. Stay away at 3:00. I'm on the radio. I'll be right back. Well,
we all know LL ladies love Jay Sands. No, I'm just saying. I don't really
Stop that, you get me a bunch of trouble.
Just kidding.
Take it away, Ernie Abbott.
All right, everybody. Thanks again. You've been listening to Sands and Abbott, a conversation here on the SandsNet Radio Network, coming to you live each and every Friday afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and that's 2 p.m. Central, and that is 8 p.m. over in the beautiful UK. Let me get back to the chat room. We had DJ Matt in there from Exact FM Radio earlier. We had Mike in there. We had, let me go back over here. But again, what Jay was saying, and what he says many times on his night talk show, which is on at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, you gotta get involved, man. If you don't get involved, then you have no recourse. You have no business, putting down what's going on. If you're not involved with the whole thing, you got to get involved, my friends. You got to get involved. You got to do what you got to do. Jay and I made, our contention is many times, I won't speak for Jay, but I'm an older dude. I'll be, 60 next year. And, it's a thing where, what kind of situation are we leaving for our kids and our grandkids? Generation after generation. One thing in America you could always count on was that the generation that follows your generation always seemed to have a better life and more opportunities and with hard work, obviously. But I think for the first time in this generation might not be having that as part of their life, part of their upbringing here in the United States, where the debt that we're accruing, $17 million. And like I like to say, Ben Carson put it in perspective when he talked about that deficit, which a lot of that money is owed to countries like Japan and so forth. But, if you were to count that money, if you started today counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to $17 billion, it'd take you over 500 years to get to 17 trillion, and that's our deficit. So, again, we're passing that on. Somewhere along the way, the kids are going to have to pay that.
That's for sure, my friend. Good job, by the way.
Thank you, my friend.
Wow. It shows you're listening to Night Talk. I love it.
Yeah, it's a great show. I encourage everybody to come over and have a listen.
No, I was kidding. Ernie does his own, believe me, he does his own checking and fact-checking and research, believe me.
Yeah, I try to be on top of things, but there's so much going on, and there's been so much still unanswered stuff, out there that's lingering, and it's important stuff that needs answering.
That's very true. That's very true. But I mean, if you get a chance, please listen to last night's show. I got on a roll there, and it's true. Everything I said is true. And people just need to wake up. We need to get out of this left-right garbage and start to think of this as Americans. And as soon as we do that, it's very clear to any straight-thinking person who can get beyond the political realm of this and the left and the right of it, that there are problems. There are serious problems here.
Oh.
And our freedoms are at stake. This is the price we are going to end up paying if we don't wake up, ladies and gentlemen. It's that simple. That's how I see it, and it's out there. If you just look and see,
But I know sometimes former presidents and so forth have, maybe told little white lies, if you will. But some of the things going on with this administration, in their own words, be caught in certain lies and not telling the truth in several situations that have happened. And then they finally get called on it, and they're backpedaling and backtracking, and who can I blame? But like you were contending last night, in the end, no matter how our commander-in-chief delegates to his cabinet and so forth and so on, the buck stops in his office. He should be held accountable because it's under his watch, as you said, and that is so very true. Like I said, no matter what kind of delegating you do, what kind of free rein you give to your various cabinet members, in the end, the buck stops in the Oval Office, and that's why that office is, it's a tough job. It's no questions asked about, no question about that. But you got to have some big shoes, and you got to have some big boy pants, and you got to be able to, when you're wrong, admit you're wrong and move on, and instead of tap dancing around issues and sort of disregarding them in many ways, that's totally wrong.
Yeah, just hoping that they'll go away.
Right.
I mean, you're not talking about moving furniture here. You're talking about people's lives. Everything that you do and every aspect of the government that you allow to infringe on the freedoms of the American people changes lives. No jobs changes lives. You may be doing okay in the Oval Office. Our governing body may be doing fine, but the people out here are hurting. A lot of people are hurting, and they keep using that. Well, people need jobs, and people need. Well, stop what you're doing and listen for a change instead of talking louder than everybody else and longer than everybody else and more often than anybody else, just to push an agenda. Your agenda isn't working, and you don't see that it's not working. That's another problem. That's a big problem, because people's lives are at stake here.
Yeah, I think, again, not having a lot of experience in the executive realm of running anything at all, I think the missteps that have been taken on have been truly unbelievable. Some of the missteps and some of the things that go on, man, it's unbelievable.
Well, my friend, I think we've come to the end of another show. We've got about 30 seconds left. What do you have to say?
I'd like to say it's always a pleasure being with you, my friend, and again, we look forward to having our friends down in Jamaica join us next Friday for Sands and Abbott, a conversation. And I encourage everybody to come over and have a listen tonight to Night Talk with Jay Sands.
If we can get on the air.
Live Monday through Friday. Eastern Standard Time at 10 p.m. and a great show it is, and hopefully situations and things are